Having completed chapter 7, we move to chapter 8. The 8th chapter, entitled Akshara Parabrahman Yoga, which translates into the yoga of the imperishable absolute. Lord Krishna at the outset replies to 7 of the questions posed by Arjuna on Brahman, Adhyatmam, Karma, etc. The chapter discusses creation and dissolution. Lord Krishna highlights the importance of the very last thought at the moment of death. The universal form of Lord and how the devotee can reach it is discussed. The bright and dark paths of the moon and the power of yogis and related topics are discussed in chapter 8. Now let us move to the first and second sloka of chapter 8, where Arjuna poses 7 questions. Arjuna uvacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutam cha kim proktam adhideivam kim uchyate adhiyagyam katam kotra dehesmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katam nyeyosi niyatatmabhihi. Arjuna uvacha, Arjuna spoke, Purushottama, O Krishna, the Supreme Personality, Brahman Kim. So what is Brahman? The absolute truth, the absolute reality. What is it? Adhyatmam Kim. What is Adhyatmam, or the individual soul, or the embodied self? Karmam Kim. What is fruitive action? Adhibhutam Kim Proktam. What is said to be Adhibhutam, the material manifestation? Cha Adhideivam Kim Uchyate. Uchyate is called. So what is called as Adhideivam? Adhideivam, the underlying foundation of all demi-gods, which we discussed in the previous last chapter, 7th chapter. Madhusudana. Madhusudana, Krishna, the slayer of Asura Madhu. Atra Adhiyagyam kaha. So who is Adhiyagyam? Who is in this physical body? Who is Adhiyagyam? And katam, and how does he operate? Cha niyatamapi prayana kale katam nyeyaha asi. How can this be known? That is, how can one know Lord Krishna at the time of death? By niyatamapi, by the disciplined and self-controlled person. In the last sloka of chapter 7, Lord Krishna introduces us to Adhibhutam, Adhyatmam, Adhideivam, Adhiyagyam. So Arjuna, who's been listening with devotion, gets curious and he asks Lord Krishna 7 questions in the first 2 shlokas of chapter 8. So what is Brahman? What is Adhyatmam? What is Karmam? What is said to be Adhibhutam? And 6th question, who is Adhiyagyam in the physical body, the supreme being to whom all yajna sacrifices are offered? And how does this Adhiyagyam operate in the physical body? Katam. And the last question, 7th question, how will the Supreme God be known and remembered at the time of death by a person who has controlled his mind and senses? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavodhyatma Muchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karaha Visarga Karma Sanjitaha. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, Lord spoke, Brahma Paramam Aksharam. So Brahman, it is said that the ultimate truth, that is Brahman, is Paramam. Paramam is supreme. It is the supreme. Brahman is the supreme. And Brahman Paramam Aksharam. Kshara is getting destroyed. So Aksharam is, it is indestructible. Swabhavaha Adhyatmam. Its eternal nature, Brahman's eternal nature is the Atma, the embodied self. Bhuta bhava udbhava karaha visargaha karma sanjitaha. So Bhuta is living beings. So Bhuta bhava udbhava. Udbhava is growth. So all actions that relate to the growth of material existence. Visargaha, creation. Visargaha is creation. So visarga, etc. are delineated as karma. So bhuta bhava udbhava karaha visargaha karma sanjitaha. So all these are delineated as karma, that is the fruitive actions. So Lord Krishna answers 3 of Arjuna's questions in this shloka. First he replies to the first question, what is Brahman? So So the Brahman is Aksharam Paramam. So it is Paramam supreme and Aksharam indestructible. So there is nothing else beyond it. It is imperishable. It is eternal. Next Lord Krishna answers, what is Adhyatmam? Swabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. So Adhyatma is referred to as Swabhava. Swabhava generally means nature. So here Swabhava is a subtle material element with changing or erratic tendencies. It has, the nature is changing or erratic. So Swabhava is also the real self of a person, which is made up of the body, mind and intellect. So mind, they keep on changing. So because of that, I mean, it is not eternal like in the case of Brahman. It keeps on changing. It is erratic. So Adhyatma is the result of Visargaha. Visargaha, the word Visargaha means creation. The word Visargaha has a prefix V. So V means differentiation or separation, and the word Sarga comes from the root Srija. Srija means creation. So the universe comes into existence, the Adhyatma, that is the embodied self, comes into being through the divine act of differentiation from the unmanifested, undifferentiated source. So it is a little paradoxical here. The Brahman, which is the undifferentiated source, which is the unmanifested source, comes into existence because of the divine act of differentiation. So the process of creation is karma. Bhuta bhavod bhavakaraha. So Bhuta is the beings, embodied self, and Udbhava is growth. So Bhuta bhavod bhavakaraha karma sanjitaha. The specific actions which result in manifestation of all embodied beings, all the bhutas, that is, be it the humans, the animals, that is the procreation, that is the Udbhava, that is the growth of all this. The procreation is karma. So the knowledge that Brahman is Paramam and Aksharam is important for liberation. This Brahman, which is unmanifest, which is Aksharam, which is indestructible, separated, divided himself into creation from his own Swabhava. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushashchadidaivatam Adhiyagyamevatra dehe dehabhritam vara. Devabhritam varaha. O best of all embodied beings, Arjuna, Ksharaha Bhavaha Adhibhutam. So Kshara is that which gets destroyed, that is that which is perishable. So all that is perishable is Ksharaha Bhavaha Adhibhutam. So all that is perishable is Adhibhutam. Purushaha Adhideivatam. Purushaha, the divine astral being, is Adhideivatam, is the divine astral being that presides over all the devatas, is Adhideivam. Atra dehe ahameva adhiyagyaha. Lord Krishna tells that Atra dehe, in the physical bodies, I, the Lord of all the sacrifices, Adhiyagyaha, I dwell in all the physical bodies. So I am Adhiyagya. I am Adhiyagya, the Lord of all sacrifices, who resides in all the physical bodies. So Arjuna asked 7 questions. 3 were answered in the previous shloka. What is Brahman, what is Adhyatmam, and what is Karma? They were explained in the previous shloka. So in this shloka, the Lord answers three other questions. First, he answers what is Adhibhutam. So all the perishable objects sought after by the Artharthaha, all the fortune seekers, people who are after Aishwarya. So all these are of perishable nature, which are transient, like sound, smell, sight, which are latent in the elements of ether, fire, earth, etc. So that develop from the senses, all these are Adhibhutam. So now Adhibhutam explained. Now next, what is Adhideivam? The ultimate supreme Lord, who is above the millions of demi-gods. So he is the Lord of all the devatas. So Adhideivatam. Then he answers the 6th question, Adhiyagyam. So Lord Krishna tells that Lord Krishna, who is the creator and cause of all beings, the supreme Lord who existed before creation itself, he resides in all beings, in all the Jivatmas, as Adhiyagya, the presiding deity of all sacrifices. So as Adhiyagya, he accepts all sacrifices and he is the bestower of all the rewards for action. So Lord Krishna tells atra dehe. So in all these physical bodies, I reside. I, the unmanifest, the Paramatma, reside in all the sentient beings. So Lord Krishna monitors the actions of all the embodied beings and rewards them for their actions as the presiding deity of all yajnas, that is Adhiyagyam. As the Adhyatmam, he is the bestower, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and he is also the bestower of rewards and actions. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Yaha antakale mameva smaran. He who remembers me at the time of the death. Smaran is remembers. And antakale at the time of death. Mameva. So he who remembers me alone at the time of death. Kalevaram muktva. Kalevaram while relinquishing the physical body. Muktva is liberation. So while relinquishing the physical body and ascending, saha madbhavam yati. Madbhavam, he comes to me. Atra samshayaha na asti. There is no doubt about this. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna answers the 7th question posed by Arjuna. How will the Supreme God be known at the time of death to a person who has controlled his senses? So at the time of death, antakale mameva smaran. So one who at the time of death remembers the Lord, remembers Lord Krishna, meditates on him as a Supreme Lord, the ultimate truth, the refuge of all jivatmas, reaches the Supreme Lord himself. So the key to liberation from this sansara is the yearning, the crying out for the Lord, identification with the Lord. This alone is a means of attaining him. So the last thought at the time of death is very, very important. This the Lord underlines in this shloka. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः. Kaunteya yam yam bhavam vaha api smaran. Kaunteya, O Kuntiputra Arjuna, yam yam bhavam, whatever form of being, smaran api, one remembers, kalevaram tyajati ante. So kalevaram is a physical body and tyajati is giving up, relinquishing. So at the time of relinquishing the physical body, tam eva yeti. So that alone is attained. So whatever form, whatever thought is there in your mind, you become that. That alone is attained. Sada tat bhava bhavitah. Being fully absorbed in that form or nature. So the importance of the prominent thought that floats in the mind at the time of death is underlined once again through this shloka. Lord Krishna uses the words sada tad bhava bhavitah, which means that the mind is always absorbed in that particular form, those thoughts. So if one is always focused on some form, most of the time the same thought comes at the time of death also. And one becomes that only in the very next life. So if one thinks of a deer at the time of death, one is born as a deer in the next life. So to be able to remember Lord Krishna in the last moments, to think of his form, to remember his form in the last moment, one should have been focused on him throughout the life. So Lord Krishna should be the focus of one's life throughout, so that we are also able to remember him at the time of death. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya mayyarpita mano buddhihi mame vaishyasya samshayam. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, mam anusmara, think of me, yudhya and fight the battle. Mayi arpita manaha buddhihi. Arpita, offer. So offer me, offer your buddhi, intellect and mind, your mind. Offer your spiritual intelligence, intellect and mind to me. Asamshayam mameva aishyasi. Undoubtedly, asamshayam mameva aishyasi. You will reach me. So in the previous shloka, the Lord said that the aggregated impressions of thoughts in life becomes the predominant thought at the time of death. So, tasmat, therefore, always be absorbed in me. Mameva anusmara. So, advising Lord Krishna compassionately, the Lord tells, always meditate on me, always remember in anything that you do. As a Kshatriya, Arjuna's duty is to fight. So, Krishna advises him, anusmara yudhya. So, anusmara, think of me. Yudhya, while fighting, always think of me. While performing your Kshatriya duties, think of me. So, each of us, while performing our prescribed duties, should remember the Lord and we should follow the righteous path prescribed by the Vedas while doing our duties, and we should meditate on Him. So, when we keep doing this continuously in our life, the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, is infused in our consciousness at the time of death also, and we automatically remember Him and reach Him. So, to summarize what we've covered in the first 7 shlokas of chapter 8, first Arjuna, an attentive, devoted and inquisitive listener, poses 7 questions to Lord Krishna. Answering these, Lord Krishna replies, Brahman is Paramam Aksharam, it is supreme and it is indestructible. Its Swabhava, nature, is Adhyatmam, the embodied self. The creation and the dissolution, as well as the process of manifestation and relative activities, pertain to karma. The perishable nature is Adhibhutam, the divine astral being that presides over the millions of demi-gods is Adhideivam, and Lord Krishna himself exists as Adhiyagyam in all physical bodies. Those who remember Lord Krishna at the time of death reach him. Whatever form one remembers at the time of death is attained by him in the next life. So, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, therefore, Arjuna, remember me and fight, offering your mind, intellect to me, and you are sure to reach me. Thank you.